We rolling! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for podcast.
Yo, this is your boy Michael the Menace Johnson on, I guess we'll say, the official first episode of Menace's Mike. We did a little transition of the show. It's myself and the legend Greg Jones to my left. Will be running the show and bringing in, guests of, specialties, artists in their field of battle. They got a little bit of knowledge of the fight game. They love the fight game. So I am looking at my face. This is like the best person to have on as my first guest. Best or worst. My barber, the man, Corey Bones the Goat Sturkey. Legend in the barber game. Celeb barber, can I call it celeb barber?
I mean, well known. I don't know
Well
about celeb.
known.
That celeb shit, that just sounds weird.
Yeah, you know how people like to use the celeb shit.
Niggas like to push it and sound important.
Yeah, for sure.
I cut hair, bro.
We cut hair.
Right on.
I cut
My
hair.
guy,
Hey,
welcome to the show, the official first
Appreciate
episode.
You got your boy out here
Appreciate
woofing though, man. You got to get him in your
Bro,
chair,
that's
dog.
Mike. When he get in the cam, I
Yeah.
already know what time it is. I'm going to see him once or twice.
Once or twice, yeah. If everybody's watching, my face is always a little rough. I'm in camp.
Always.
I fight in a few weeks, and it's
What's
just
your date again?
rough.
Tell the folks your date. What's your
February 10th is
February
the date.
10th. Las
February
Vegas?
10th. Yeah,
Down in
Las Vegas at the Apex fighting Darius Flowers. So
Let's go.
Yo, so hold on.
forward to
I got to
that
ask you a question about that before you go any further. Do you prefer fighting in the Apex or you prefer fighting in the stadium here with the crowd?
This is a good topic.
I need to hear because
a good
there's some
subject.
guys that prefer it because you can hear the coaches clear, but so can your opponent.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I'm grateful that I get to fight at the Apex. I use that, but no, man, I love the crowd. I love fighting in the big arenas. I love hearing that energy. Like, regardless, I've fought in a crowd with, 15, 20,000 people to the Apex, to the Ultimate Fighter. I'll always hear my coaches, regardless of how loud the
in
crowd
a loud
is.
arena, yeah.
Yes, in a loud arena, I will always hear my coaches. I'll even hear the other coaches sometimes, but I just, like, a distinct voice. I hear my coaches, 6 hours, 7 hours a day?
So I sound like a jackass.
Yelling. So I'm going to hear his voice, but I love that crowd.
What
I
do
love
you
that
think?
energy.
What do you think as a fan? I'll tell you my opinion first, and then you can go.
All right, bet.
I think the Apex has run its course. I think it served a very important purpose during the early days of the pandemic and throughout the pandemic, if we're being accurate. But it's run its course. If you are a fight promotion, your job is to promote. That's in the definition of the word, right? You're supposed to go out and promote your fighters, promote your promotion from city to city. How is doing these fights in a warehouse doing that? That's where I struggle at.
So I
and then hold on, and then you get all the money they keep from these fighters, right? The fighters don't have equal pay, equal benefits, whatever, right? And all the thing the Apex has turned into is a cost-saving venture. That's all it is.
That's literally what I was gonna say. It makes sense. You get to get your shit off.
That's it.
You get to fulfill everybody's contracts by giving them their fights, and then you fill in between the big main event fights. And it's like, shit, we can get these guys in here, much smaller venue, less overhead. We don't have to pay as many staff and shit like that. Why not
and
do it?
tickets are like 2 stacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Then
I
it's more of like
got.
they try to run a quality, not quantity thing, where they give you more of an experience. But they're just trying to say that bread.
It's my man. It's money, and it's dangerous road leading down into. They're just capturing content.
I think they should just use that. I think the Apex should be used specifically for the Contender Series.
That's a good point.
I think that's what they should designate it specifically for that.
Additionally, what where I have a problem at with the Apex too, well, and a lot of people don't think about this, but it really bothers me for some reason. Fighters are contractually obligated to 4 tickets for every fight they participate in. Whenever they fight at the Apex, they don't get those tickets.
'Cause I asked Mike
Friends
about
and
that.
family
That's a
don't get
fight.
those
We literally
tickets.
spoke about
You
that
can
last
buy them.
haircut.
They can
It's a
buy them.
fight.
And what I noticed during, I don't know, later on in 2023, they don't even care to put people in the seats. I mean, those seats are probably a third of the way full, and they're just, a couple risers, maybe, I don't know, what do you think, 600 or 800 people, 1,000 people at max?
Is that many people in there?
It can, but it's like
I never hear
there's
that.
no-
It doesn't never seem like that. Like it's that many
No,
people
it's
when you're watching from your TV.
anymore.
at
It's
least.
completely empty.
pretty
So,
empty, yeah.
but nothing. That first time after being in the Apex and then walking out to a real arena, it was just like,
It's different.
there it is.
That's
There
why
it is. You know what I mean?
The reason why I said I would much rather, or I think they should use it as a contender series, like it's kind of like the minor leagues. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get that introduction to what the organization offers. You kind of get a feel somewhat of how it feels to be a part of the organization. But then at the same time, it's like some niggas can't handle that fucking them lights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
That's why
But
it's
the
like,
lights
Yeah,
are
but
just
there's
as
some
bright
people-
at the Apex.
There's some
know?
people that can though and
Yeah.
thrive on it.
yeah,
So
they feed off that energy.
you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So
Are
I
we
get
getting an
it.
accurate product in the Apex, considering all those
I feel
things?
like it's
No.
I feel like it's case sensitive.
No, you're not
You know?
at all.
The consistency lies more in the arenas.
Nobody trains and works their asses off to
Fight in
get
a
to the
warehouse.
UFC and then fight in a fucking room that's smaller than some of the venues that they fought in leading into the UFC.
You're at a you had a prelim on a local show.
Yeah, like that's what it is. Like no, like I worked to the UFC. I want to fight in these big arenas. This is the big times. Like this is the pro sports. This is like the Super Bowl or the NFL stadiums or something like that, where we pick where the Bulls play. You know, like I fought there. You know, I fought in all these big arenas. You know, I didn't get there to fight in a warehouse. You know, I did that on the Ultimate Fighter. You know,
I mean, that's the reason why this is even allowed to happen is because there's real no competition with the UFC.
Right.
So when there's nobody on your ass, like, hey, we right behind you. This type of
and
shit
it never
goes.
will be, which is I don't understand.
Well, let's
as a
hope.
fighter.
We'll
It
see.
can't-
We'll
and
see.
then that goes to the whole Joe Rogan thing. Do you think that if you're not fighting in the UFC that you're wasting your career?
I don't like that he made that statement. Like I think I know what he was trying to say, but he shit on a whole lot of quality fighters, and
I
that
agree.
fucking bothered me.
I agree.
That bothered me
Because everybody
tremendously.
thinks the UFC in the world and they hold that world title as an you're not a UFC champion, you're not really a world.
But that
champion.
doesn't mean that you can't
Yeah,
beat
but that doesn't discredit anybody.
7 out of the top 10 guys.
And
That doesn't mean you
Same.
can't beat them, and then that doesn't negate
can't
from
compete.
all the work, commitment, and sacrifice that you've made to this craft. I think it was just a real, for an MMA guy, for a UFC guy, it was a really shitty comment to make.
So
I
it
think.
wasn't what he said, it was more so how he said it. Would you say that?
Well, he quantified it. I can't remember. Can you pull that quote up? He quantified it early on. It was like something, I have respect for all fighters or something like that. And then at the end, he was like, if you're not in the UFC, what are you really doing? You're wasting your time.
Well, UFC pays him. Come on, now. Like, he's got to say what.
I mean, but I like
sure,
to think that
he's
Joe
gotta be a
Rogan is
company man.
But I would like to think that Joe Rogan
To a certain
can
more
be he can be
outspoken and-
pretty biased.
Yeah. Oh, extremely.
But then there's sometimes where he does speak out on the shit that goes on in the UFC as well. He has to because his platform is essentially just as big as the UFC. Now, if you want to think he's the #1 podcast in the world, he's fucking bigger than CNN for a lot of people. More people watch Joe
it's
Rogan
crazy
than they
when you
watch
put
the
it that way.
news.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if we're talking Joe Rogan from Fear Factor, then of course he's not going to be sitting there talking
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. This
But
is the
now
same
it's
dude
Joe-
from Fear Factor
Exactly.
that people are worshiping.
But I mean, but he's knowledgeable.
He's
though.
crafted, yeah.
He's very knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? I won't say that Joe Rogan knows everything, but he knows a lot about everything. He
Or
knows
is
something
he-
about everything.
Or is he just a really good shit talker and he convinces everybody that he knows everything?
There's a little bit of that in
It's,
there.
well, I mean, there's
He's
always going to
So
be a little.
confident. He's so confident at what he says that you can't even question it.
But when you're so confident, that means there's just not really a lot of room there for conversation, and that's what he does for a living. So he has to
He's
have
a
some
good-
type of humility.
He's
to
a
have
good
the conversation with
conversationalist,
people, too.
I would say.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like he asks good questions.
And he
nigga,
knows how
he
to
asks good
poke
fucking
and
questions,
pry.
bro. And I fuck
that's
with
where
that.
we're going, Michael, is with Menace the Mike.
Menace to Mike. Yeah,
We're going up
especially
there.
it's funny because this man right here is one of the guys that really pushed me to start this. You know, we've been
Damn
talking
right.
about it for a while. I've been talking about it, but you know, when I do get my hair cut on a regular basis, it's more than just once a month. Okay, we talk, we rap about everything. You know, everybody has a good relationship with their barber, and this man's been cutting my hair for what, 8 years?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's I don't know if
Loyalty's
that's
not just a hashtag.
yeah, I don't know if that's just in the black community, but like once we have a barber, like, hey, nobody touch my hair. Like, sorry,
I'm gonna mess around and be out of
It's a
town.
relationship,
right,
bro.
right,
You
yeah.
know, you build a relationship with
and
your
it's a relationship outside out of just him being a good barber. You know, he's actually grown to being a friend of mine. You know, we talk about a lot of things. He gives me advice and everything, and he just kept pushing me to, bro, you got to start the podcast. You got to start it. Just get the content out there. Just get behind the mic and get it recorded. And finally, I was just like, all right, bro, I got it going. We got to get you on here. And it's great.
I think about it. It's like, bro, how many fights you have in the UFC? 20 what?
Shit, 29?
Yeah, 29 fights in the
30
UFC.
about? Yeah.
There's an insurmountable amount of value that you have and that you've attained over all these years. Why the fuck wouldn't people want to hear what you have to say? There's motherfuckers out there, like we were just talking about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan never fought in the UFC. So there's things that you're going to be able to talk about that he's never going to understand.
With that depth of experience,
You've literally had more fights in the UFC than people have had in their entire careers.
There's probably
That's a big deal.
3 or 4 guys with more UFC fights.
That's value.
14 years and running.
Speaking of that, while we're here, focused on the menace, deep in camp. What are you, 4 or 5 weeks out? Tell us about it. How you feeling? Just all that kind of. Tell your fans, because you got a lot out there watching.
I know that I don't, and I haven't really been jumping on interviews or podcasts to talk about how I feel. So, you know, it's the perfect time, you know. I feel great. Everything's good. Everything's working perfectly fine. Coming from a knockout, my last fight, you know, you start questioning a lot, especially when you're winning. You know, it's like, damn, like, I just need to stay focused. Do I need to keep switching things and doing something different? And it's like, I came to the conclusion where it's like, no, don't do anything different. Just get back to the basics. Get back to being a student of the game. Get back to going to learn.
I find that,
you know?
I find that productive, not just with you, but with many people, is whenever we run into some difficulties, whatever it may be, we want to do more, when in fact we should simplify and probably do less.
Yeah.
You know, focus on the fundamentals, focus on the basic, getting your footwork right, getting your guard right, you know, staying long
Get
and
back
fast.
to the things that got you there.
That's it.
Like, hey, like, wait, you stopped doing this. No wonder you started losing or you started fucking up. You started doing different shit. Like,
I mean, I 100% agree with that. And the reason why is we have a prime example of that with the whole Deontay Wilder thing. Switching up, the moment he switched his trainers from Mark Breland and went to Malik Scott, you noticed the immediate change in his style. Then you could talk about Anthony Joshua.
Explain that.
you don't think that was the ayahuasca trip?
You watch a lot of boxing.
I watch a lot, bro.
Tell me what you saw in the difference in his performance.
He's trying to make Deontay Wilder into a fighter that he's not. You can't turn he's a slugger, bro. He's a puncher. He's a puncher box. He's not a puncher box. He's a puncher. He's not a boxer.
He's not a boxer at all.
His objective is to go in here and knock you out. One of his biggest quotes is, "You have to be perfect for 12 rounds. I have to be perfect for 2 seconds." That's it. Yeah. So his objective the whole time is, I don't care how many rounds you get, because I know if I hit you once, that shit's over with. Only thing that he had to perfect was to learn how he had to get his legs stronger for one, and he had to learn how to fight moving backwards. He does not know how to do that whatsoever. He cannot throw any combinations. So if you know that your guy doesn't do this, you feed him what he's good at. Yeah. If your right hand and your jab is what you're known for, perfect that shit. Perfect that and work on making that better.
He was being a little too technical.
Why
is
was
that what you think?
When have you ever seen Deontay Wilder move that much?
I didn't watch the fight, just so you say.
So Deontay Wilder moved so much.
He's a power player. He just stands his ground. And
he's not
swings.
a guy that's gonna pivot in and out, pop, 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 and get. He's not that guy because his footwork's not that fast. He has a super wide stance. Yeah. So when you're that type of fighter, you have to be planted.
Yeah, you can't.
So why the
move.
fuck are you like Joseph Parker's the guy that's supposed to move around and jump around and shit like that? But I agree with what you're saying, because when you see the change in fighters when they get new trainers and these new trainers come in and they try to completely change their style. Like, bro, if you knock people out, you knock people the fuck out.
Bones, you good. You good. You watch a lot of fights. You got a good eye and brain, man.
Bro, I like fighting, bro.
It surprises me how much he talks about it. I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk about this.
Because I see that. And what you said is terribly true. Yeah, what you said is really true from a coaching perspective. Say we got a guy getting ready, just say a high-level grappler, right? And we got to try to figure out what he does. We get those time and reps. Rarely, and this is why I don't do a lot of like individual really dialed in sessions anymore, because rarely does that training take hold for that fight. But what I often see is it takes hold 2, 3, 4 fights later.
That's
so
what
it's not a loss.
Exactly.
You're banking work, but it's
gonna come
Because you see it all the time in fighters with new trainers. The moment they get tired, they revert back to their original style.
Yeah.
They do.
I get
For the
tired, I
first
shoot
fight,
for
they're
legs.
gonna revert right back to who they are. That just didn't happen with Deontay. When he couldn't land anything, what he do? He started standing still and just shooting his shit off like that, trying to pull counters. So
You think
100%
his
agree.
comments and his ayahuasca trips, like, is that what you think that took like some violence away and he found a new
I don't
path
know.
of life?
I'm kinda
And
like,
I don't want to be
it's
this
possible
big
that he
violent
just fought back.
person.
I'm kind of 50-50 with that shit
Because
because the
I
way
heard
I
it-
feel
This
about
is the
it is
same
like,
dude that said 400 years.
Yeah.
Ugh, slave.
Hey, man.
Could have just fought bad.
I mean, yeah,
My
but
thing-
pull
bro,
that clip up. That was what.
my thing is this: it's like you can look at it where he's more of at peace now. He made a lot of bread off those 3 fights with Fury. He made hella money off of that. And then it could just be this. The only way I'm 50-50 with is because I feel like when you say that, you take away from how good Joseph Parker looked.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because Joseph Parker looked fucking good. Head movement was good. He saw the right hand coming the whole fucking night. He countered it. He threw good combinations. He worked the body to slow Wilder down. So I felt like him and Andy Lee had a fucking great game plan for that fight.
I feel like it's common too. When a guy fights bad or loses or whatever,
It's something that the other guy
Yeah.
did.
People forget that other guy shows
Put
up
work
to win
in.
too.
He put fucking work in
They,
for that
they
fight.
forget about that. You know what I
You just
mean?
forget, like, bro, Wilder has 1 fight to the decision. He knocks people out.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker had to prepare for 1 punch the whole fucking time. He had to watch that. He had to be 100% aware the whole fucking fight. Even when he hurt Wilder, he had that nigga hurt bad. He still had to be on his P's and Q's because that shit could change just like that when you fighting Wilder. So I don't want to. It's like the ayahuasca, because I know a lot of my boys took it, and it does change you, bro.
I've been wanting to
does
take it.
change
I've
you.
been wanting to go on like a little shaman like retreat and everything, and I almost did it when I moved to Arizona for a little bit. I almost did it. Was talking to my boy.
I
CB
like you how you
Galloway,
are, man.
And he
I'm
was
glad
like,
you
I
did
was like, it was a reset. I was like, but what if I don't come out like, a little more like that growl like that
Bro.
aggressive shit? But I don't want to go to no like bullshit tent in California in a desert or somebody's backyard.
You supposed to the real way.
Nah,
You supposed
bro.
to get it done by a real shaman,
I want to
bro.
go
South
to the
America
middle.
like a
I want to
real
go to the
shaman.
middle of some rainforest.
Not some fucking guy in his barn
with
type
a shaman
shit.
with a fucking
Yeah.
beard down to his navel, bro. That's like 100 years old. That's been
But you see,
doing this shit forever.
there's levels to that
That's
shit,
where I
though.
want to
They
be.
got that ayahuasca, and then they got that fucking toad.
Oh yeah, I know some people that even got toes. You know,
That toad shit that's a whole other level.
I'm good.
I got asked to do
good, too.
ayahuasca. I told dude, I was like, I'm
toe,
straight.
dude.
I told the guy, the
Get it?
shaman asked me. Oh. the shaman asked me. He's like, yo, I like how you think. I love your mindset, the positivity, and how you move with intention. He said, I really feel like ayahuasca would be something beneficial for you in life. Bro, I didn't even smoke weed at that time. I was like, you want me to jump off from off the porch like that? I'm straight, bro. I appreciate it, but I'm not going for
I'd be
that.
too scared.
I was
man.
terrified.
I'd be too scared.
Yeah.
Because they say that when
Take
that
me on a
experience is like
journey.
you experience having like how you feel like you're about to die.
It's only like.
But then they
a
say
minute, though.
they say it's gonna make no hell no.
Yeah, I
It's
heard
like
it's only
30
like
minutes.
2 minutes. No, I heard it.
Hell
last
no.
It feels like it's like that. I heard.
Nah, I heard that shit is long.
I heard it's different kind of chips. Maybe like if you smoke it, it's only 2 minutes, or if you drink it or some shit.
I don't know. That shit ain't going
See, if I
in me.
smoke it, then I feel weird. I feel like a bass head.
like a bass head,
that
like you
feels
out there
crazy.
bad.
You gotta put that shit in the tea for me, dog.
They say how you go in too has a lot to do with how you come
Yes.
out of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I gotta knock off a weekend and
You have
have
to.
my house empty. You
Like, I might have
But
too
you
many
got, even with
demons as it
shrooms though,
is.
because people always say like, bro, you ever had a bad trip? It's like I don't think there is a such thing as bad trip. It's just surfacing shit that you and dealing with internally.
Yeah.
It's making you deal with it now.
Yeah.
So I don't believe
The bad trips are like mushrooms I've had is like if I'm taking them with a group of people and
And they
I
just killing
and
your
I
buzz.
left. Yeah, and I left and I was coming down by myself. Because you're like on a high
You got
and then it's
scared?
like no, and then it stops. And that's the thing with a mushroom trip, like it just stops like right away.
You're like,
so
now
you're
what?
like on high, and then it's like, you're
like
man, I'm
super
fucking
down.
depressed and shit.
Super down.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like I was on top of the world 2 minutes ago,
Tripping.
man. Like I'm by myself, like, what
breathing
the
and
fuck?
stuff.
Yeah, like. the rhubarb dark
it's
as
just
shit.
instant, bro. It's just
yeah,
fucking
it is,
instant.
and it gives you like depressive, like suicidal thoughts a little bit. Then so I like stopped taking them for a while, and then I found like
Really?
a new piece for them. Yeah, so they just like a major reset. Like I use them sometimes every now and then, but.
You do the microdosing.
No, I didn't do microdosing either. I tried that, and it was too much like partying. You know, I got like that fucking
What do you mean
party
it's too much,
gene-
like-
I got like that party gene in me, man. So
I got
like
that
I'm
party
popping
gene.
pills during the day.
I just wanna
Like
party.
it's
Yeah,
a
they come in little
vitamin.
vials,
It's
yeah.
a vitamin, but I mean like not a vitamin. It's in a capsule, but it's like
shrooms.
yeah. It's like I'm gonna get a little happy. Then it's like oh shit, get a little more happy. Then it's like oh shit, get a little. Then next thing I know, I'm like 4 or 5 deep, and I'm like
Spinning.
damn,
You
I'm
ain't no microdosing
I'm
no more,
supposed to
boy.
microdose these, but it's supposed to
Hell
last me
no.
for a
What's
week,
the opposite?
bro.
Macro
Yeah,
dose.
macro
You motherfucker
dose.
took a macro
Crazy
dose.
dose.
Like, but wait, isn't like macro and micro the opposite?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
micro is smaller. The macro's got to be the larger dose.
No, I heard it was like the other way around though too.
Is it?
Some form.
Micro's little.
Yo, Google
Yeah, I
that.
know,
Micro's
but-
little.
And,
Google
some,
that.
and sometimes
Google
some
that.
people use macro as smaller.
Macro is
Macro.
broad, but anyway.
Anyway, we'll Google it. I'm gonna get to my guy's story because I know a lot of the listeners. You're sitting here. You're definitely knowledgeable in the fight game. When I first met you, you were a barber in somebody else's shop. I've watched you grow until you owning your own shop. Cure. I'm saying that right? Right on. Say it all the time. And yeah, just building into that, into now like a motivational speaker. You do a lot of the public speaking, a lot of the traveling. You mentor a lot of barbers. Just explaining to people like that road, bro, and what it takes to be able to branch off on your own, because that's what a lot of people in the world is like afraid of. Is just kind of branching off and I'm gonna go do something on my own and try to make it instead of being a robot for somebody else.
Honestly, like, so I've been cutting hair for 16 years now, and I'm a second generation barber. My father was a barber.
That's dope.
So as a kid, I kind of I seen the good and the bad with barbering with my dad. I saw when we were dead broke, like my parents, like my mom in the room crying because my dad worked 2 weeks at the barbershop. And you know, like we say in a black barbershop, if they don't know you, ain't nobody sitting in your chair, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is the time where haircuts were $10 and $5 for a shape up. My dad came home after 2 weeks of work with a dub.
Yeah.
$20. And my mom's like, yo, what are we gonna do? We gotta feed the kids, we gotta pay bills. And my dad, I'll never forget, bro. I mean, my dad saying, he was like, I know God did not leave me and my family down here for me to fall on my face. It's gonna work out. And then I remember a few months later, just seeing this nigga grinding, him coming home at night, counting $500-$600 a night on the table when haircuts are $10, bro. Now put that into perspective.
working.
You know what I'm saying? He in there grinding. He's leaving at 5 a.m., opening up the barbershop at 5:30, coming home at 11 p.m. So now I'm going days without seeing him at all, but I know he's straight because when I wake up some mornings and I have a brand new pair of shoes, or I have some clothes, so I see these doing good. So that kind of like planted the seed in me with barbering from a young age, because we ain't had no babysitter because we ain't had the money to afford it. So my daycare center was the shop, like how I do with my son. I was in there cleaning up. I was, buying niggas cigarettes. I learned how to play gin rummy, how to shoot dice, how to play dominoes, all that in the barbershop, So
Like your school,
Barbershop
outside
raised
of
you,
school.
bro. Damn
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So when I got older, I tried the college stuff, bro. Had a 3.2 GPA. I fucking hated it. I hated school because I was like, I'm doing this for my parents. You know what I'm saying? So I dropped out. I told my dad, I was like, hey, you got to teach me how to cut hair. And he taught me from day one, and I kind of I had to grab a hold of it because at that time I was super depressed, bro. Like all my friends going to college. I couldn't keep a job for shit, bro. I hated it. I just didn't like it gave me anxiety knowing that I could wake up today and this person could tell me that I don't got no job no more and I got to figure out my life.
Yeah.
That never sat good with me in my spirit, you know what I'm saying? So when I
Relying
started
on something else or
exactly,
somebody,
bro.
yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going through it. A conversation with my mom like really saved my life. Like suicidal, like super depressed, and she just like reinstilled like that value in me, that who I was, and that she was proud of me, and it was okay for me to cut hair because I thought that
Talk
cutting hair
more
wasn't
about
enough.
that. Talk more about
So-
that. The emotional journey.
The emotional journey
Yeah,
was
tell me, and not just the journey, but just how you cope with it and how you pulled out of it.
so. The way that ended up happening was I'm in Walmart one day walking with my mom. We're going to get some groceries. At this time,
How old?
I'm 19
Okay.
at this time. We're walking into Walmart right here in Boynton, the Super Center. So I'm walking in, and at this time, no car, no phone, no school. I'm just at home, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing shit. I'm cutting a couple, 3, 4 dudes in the neighborhood, but I can only do 2 haircuts. So at that time, I'm 19. Everybody's in college or has a job or at least trying to work
Doing
towards a
something
career,
and
doing
you're just
something.
stuck.
I'm cutting hair in my fucking garage for $3 shape-ups, $5 haircuts when I can get people to come in and trust me to do it. Yeah. So
Grind,
in my mind, it's like, I'm a fucking loser. Like, I know my parents, we done been homeless. I done seen the church come bring us food. My dad had to borrow people's cars because, you know, people repoing our 96 Dodge Stratus. I'm hearing my dad on the phone crying, begging the people not to come pick up the car. You know what I'm saying? And then here I am, all the sacrifice that my parents made, I'm fucking cutting hair in this hot-ass garage. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel any value within me at that time. So I'm walking in this Walmart, I'm embarrassed. I'm in fucking Walmart with my mom, but she need help.
Yeah, that's deep. Okay.
So I'm walking in here, and this dude comes up to me. He was like, yo, what's going on, brother? My name is Derek. You know, I own a barbershop in Boynton Beach Boulevard called Build a Block Barbershop. We just opened up new to the community. Here's a card, man, $5 off your first haircut. Come check us out. So my mom, being the woman that she is, just always seeing potential in me.
Yeah,
First thing
just
she
like
said
a
to
mom
me,
thing. Oh, good shit. Go ahead, boy.
First thing,
You
mom,
you cut hair?
mom dudes look at me, he's like, hey,
There you go.
tell me you cut hair. So I say to him, I was like, are y'all looking for barbers? He's like, actually, we are. He's like, you cut hair? I was like, you know, I cut like some of my boys in the neighborhood. And he was like, all right, we'll come by tomorrow, bring a model, and come cut them up. So long story short, I go through, and I bring one of the models who I have, who I knew I could get this person's hair good, but I didn't know how to do no other haircuts. But I know this haircut was gonna be
Gotta
fucking
go to what
fire.
you know.
This shit was gonna be it, you know? So I brought him in. Shout out to Victor Hughes, my little brother. I love you to death. He pulls up, I lace him up, I get the job. Now I get the job. My dad's still cutting hair at the house. I don't have no clippers. So I have to wait for my dad to finish cutting hair so I could take his clippers, clean them, and then drive to Boynton or get a ride from him because he would drop me off to work because I ain't had no car. And he would drop me off, and then I would start cutting hair there. Mind you, bro, I learned how to cut. I only know how to cut black people. That was my friend. Those are who I grew up with. So my shear work was trash.
That was his scissor work, dog?
Trash. Trash, bro. A
So
dude,
got a
you know,
grooming shop,
a white guy come in, a Spanish guy come in, an Asian guy come in straight hair. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm going on lunch, or I got somebody coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to avoid it by any means necessary because I didn't know how to do that shit. I just got into it.
This was no schooling. Like, you
Nothing,
just
bro.
pretty much self-taught. Dad
Self-taught.
taught you some things and just caught everything on
Straight
your
up,
own.
I just jumped off the porch with that shit. I was
Tell
like, I
me-
ain't got nothing else.
Tell me about that feeling after you lace someone up nice. And
So-
they get up out the chair. They got somewhere to go, so they got a dinner or a dance or something like that. And they get up.
Because
Because
a haircut changes lives, boy. I'm
Change
telling
the whole
you, bro.
mood.
The haircut.
Tell me about that. Is that
for
something
me,
you search as a barber?
So, I've been cutting hair for 16 years now. Cutting hair per se is not why I still do it. For one, it's the relationships that I have with the people who I cut, and I enjoy making people feel good about themselves. And Mike will tell you, when you sit in my chair, you're not just getting a haircut. Like, I'm trying to learn who you are. I'm trying to develop a relationship. My father tells me, he was like, money don't make you rich, relationships do. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite quotes is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I'm big on community. I'm big on building relationships with people. So when they sit in my chair, I try to give them and pour as much value into them as I possibly can. So for me, when somebody get out the chair and they feel good, like, hell yeah. Like, I love cutting them up. I love when they can tell me, like, bro, I got my wedding. Like, that shit gets me excited.
Like, yo,
or when Mike tell me, Mike
Game
come in
day,
like,
right?
hey, I'm flying out tomorrow for the fight. Like, I get excited for that shit. Even though this motherfucker don't brush his hair and shit one fight week, I be texting him like, Mike, bro, comb your fucking,
I
bro,
caught one of those.
pick your
I
hair,
caught
bro.
one of those messages.
I can't.
Shit,
You
dog.
see the message? Like,
I'm
I
like, bro,
can't, bro.
come on,
Like,
like,
no, it's dog
My
time.
niggas know I cut his hair, and they're like, bro, what's up with your boy on stage right now? I be telling like, bro, he in fight mode right now. He ain't even
He's
worried
the
about that
menace.
shit.
Yeah, Mike,
He ain't even worried about that
Exactly.
shit.
Like, my hair, like, I look like werewolf in
You
the
don't care,
cage.
bro.
I don't care. Like, it's not about my appearance.
Same
It's the
clothes,
that.
everything.
last thing. Yup, same clothes. It's the last thing on my mind, bro. Is
feel
how my face looks. It's just, as long as my mind's sharp, I'm in shape, and I just, like, my face is like that. That's how you know. Like, this motherfucker ain't been
Ready.
nowhere but the gym and the
Rough,
house.
rugged, and raw.
Rough, rugged, and raw. He's like,
house.
and you look like
feel
you
that.
stink, man. Get away from me.
That's that camp life, though.
That's the worst.
Camp
Yeah,
life,
for
bro.
sure.
Wrestling
That's
someone to smell bad, that's the worst.
That
man.
is the worst.
What are you
Yeah.
speaking about, Bones? What are you speaking
Man.
about? Who you speaking to? Where at?
It depends. It's more so like keynote. So if I go to schools, I do have my story.
When you say schools, high
So
school?
yeah,
High
so for
schools,
everybody that
middle
doesn't
schools.
know, he's on the motivational kick, speaker as well. So definitely shed some light.
Appreciate it. So I've spoken at my middle school that I went to, other middle schools, high schools, colleges.
Relationships.
That's what I speak about. Relationships, the power of perseverance, understanding your value of who you are and what you bring to the table, especially when I go and speak to the kids. That's the biggest thing, especially because right now with how social media is, these kids put so much value into perception of what other people think about them, and they forget the beauty of who you are. And like I give an example all the time. I was like, I said, imagine you walk into a shoe store and there's fucking thousands of shoes all over the wall, right? And I talk to these kids just like this. If I'm cursing. I'm
Yeah,
talking
you
to you
gotta
because I'm
talk
talking
to
to them how people talk to you in real life.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I
yeah.
tell them, I was like, you walk into this sneaker store, it's 1,000 shoes on the wall. And you walk in there and you see this one pair of shoes that's in there, and it's your size and it's exactly your type. And it's one of one, it'll never be made again. By you caring about what other people think about you and trying to be like somebody else, it's like you walking past that pair of shoes and grabbing a pair of fucking white Air Force Ones. A pair of shoes that everybody has. There's no value in that. There's value in who you are. You know what I'm saying? So like even with my kids, bro, my son, every morning I
How
drop
old?
him off.
How old?
I got a 9-year-old son and my daughter's 2 years old.
Oh, dope.
I go, Mike, you see it on my grandma all the time. When I drop my son off in the morning, I say, what are you? He says, a great man. I say, what makes you rich? He says, my family, my heart, and how I treat people. I say, emotions without control leads to what? He says, chaos. I say, you're not a follower, you're a what? A leader. I instill that into my kids. My daughter, the same thing. I ask her, I make her say, she's 2 years old, and I make her say, I am the prize. I am loved. I am strong. I am pretty. I make her say these things because she don't know. They don't understand it right now, but subconsciously, they'll get it when they get older.
That's what they say. More is caught than taught.
Come on,
you just
man.
pick that shit up.
It's true.
And their fucking brains.
And they're
Those
sponges.
brains
They're
are brilliant.
sponges.
Their brains
They're
are
sponges.
brilliant.
My pop said some real shit to me. He was like, kids don't do what you tell them. They do what you show them.
That's why I don't buy into this kids these days shit. It's the adults fucking these kids up. And kids are kids, man. They don't know no
And
better.
it's what
They
they
don't.
see.
It's
and
what they
everything.
see.
Yeah, that's what they see.
It's what
I
they
know
see.
I can't speak on it as much as y'all can because I don't have kids myself, but I got like 8 nieces and nephews, bro. Like 8 or 9 nieces and nephews. So I've been taking care of kids since I was a kid. You know, so I can know how, to deal with them, to know how to, be with kids and children, to see how they react to certain things. You see how I am. I coach the little kids basketball team. Like I love being around the little kids. So I think it definitely is important to show them that, hey, you don't have to be like everybody else and chase what everybody else is chasing or be that cool person on a phone or something, because then what if they're not that cool person? What does that do to that little child's mindset or their mentality when they're by
breaks it.
themselves?
It never
breaks
works out
it.
for the cool kid in class.
No, it
Things
doesn't
don't work out for the cool
and,
kid.
and later it doesn't.
Peaking
in
early,
school
the
it
worst thing in the
does.
world.
Yeah,
It's the worst
for
fucking
sure.
thing in the world.
Like,
I thank God I didn't peak in high school.
I
Thank
peaked when I
God,
was
man.
16. Like, oh, okay.
That's bad.
Yeah, how are you at 30? Like,
Exactly.
I got a 13-year-old daughter, and she ain't got time for nobody. And it makes me so proud. So I'm kind of a loner, but she has no problem being by herself. And I think it's just really impressive at 13, those teenage years and all the
So
girl stuff.
you have
She's
one?
really
I have a
mature.
13-year-old and
Remember you
11-year-old
came up
son.
I did cut him in the living room,
yeah,
under the
yeah.
kitchen, the
Yeah,
kitchen,
yeah,
kitchen.
I remember
yeah.
now. As soon as you said that.
So you have a 13-year-old daughter?
13-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son. Yeah.
Okay, so your daughter's your oldest, and
Yeah.
I kind of watched a little bit of y'all interview, so I seen like, man, you're a fucking beast, man, for real. All right, that was real as fuck. That quote that your coach said to you was like, getting one is impressive. That's cool, but 3, 4, like that was
It's real shit.
like when him saying that shit to you right there. That make a nigga want to leave. Like, let's go to the gym right fucking now. But coming from being at that high level and what you do and being one of the best, what did doing a daughter do to you? Having a daughter change you?
Hey, girls hit different, man.
How did she change you? Did she change you how did she make you better as a fighter?
See, she was my first, so I had nothing. I don't have a son to compare it to as my first. But obviously, I love both my kids.
It's different.
Tremendously. For a man, girls hit different. They just do. As far as changing me, I learned. My daughter, if I can brag for a second, my daughter. And it's really tough for me to put into words, but she has a really rich spirit. Like just her soul and her aura when she moves around a room and how she interacts with adults is really impressive for a 13-year-old girl. And it's been like that for a few years now. So that's what I've learned from her is just the grace that she moves with.
They mature faster too, though.
Yeah. But obviously, she's made me more compassionate, and not in a bad way, but more in a way of she's warm. She's warm, and that's kind of contagious.
Bro,
you know what I mean? But she can be cold too. Don't get me
100%.
Twisted.
Because they flip it quick.
Yeah,
they flip it quick.
She's an impressive young woman at this.
It softens y'all up a little bit.
It does.
See, I have my girl. You're like, a little soft.
The little girls are different.
Soft ass.
They do.
Shut up.
The little girls are different, bro. Because like I say, like having your son is like, this is my guy forever.
Yeah.
I got a best friend forever. But when you have your daughter, it's like experiencing love for the first time again. That's the best way I can put it. Like my daughter, bro, the way she wakes me up, she's 2. She walks into my room, and I hear her come in the room, but I don't do nothing. She crawls on top of my chest and kisses me on my forehead.
Don't let it stop, man. Let that
That's
shit
how she
last.
wakes me up, bro.
Let that shit last as long
You know what
as
I'm
it
saying?
can, man.
And it's like, bro, I be watching fucking Encanto and Moana crying and shit. You know what I'm saying?
These kid movies different, though,
Folding,
man.
bro. I be folding like a lawn chair, dog. Folding.
Hey, to that same point,
Oh my
though,
gosh.
Y'all finna make me go get some girl pregnant.
we're walking in public at 13 years old. Every now and then, Mara will slide up to me and like lock her arms with mine, and I'm just like, this is fucking.
See, that's what I fear is the time where it's not like that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I was coming, dog.
It's gotta be like that all
It
the
has
time.
to, because now even with my
girls,
son,
if they daddy girls.
it's getting like that with my son now. He don't want to hold my hand no more, and now he's in 4th grade. So I tell him, I was riding with him the other day. I was like, hey man, I was like, you don't like holding daddy hand no more like that no more, huh? He's like, no, it's not that. I was like, I get it. I get it, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
I understand, and because I know, like, he's getting to that. He's around his boys. You know what I'm saying?
He about to start swinging on you in a
Come
minute.
on, man. Come on,
Give me your
dog.
hand. Like, nah, pops. Like, let's box a little bit.
Yeah, they call them bones.
They gonna try.
They
gonna try.
Yeah, you did box for a little bit too, didn't you?
I did, bro. It was just like, I have a lot of respect for that shit, to the point where if I know I can't give what I need to give to it, I'm not about to sit here and play with that shit, bro. So I'll go and I'll do it for like fitness aspect. But these motherfuckers like boxing, I don't play with that shit, bro. Yeah. I do not play with that.
Boxing and fighting, those are things you can't play with. Like,
hell no.
Everybody that was as like, if I have a fight coming up, you know, and it's like oh yeah, when's your game, or who are you playing against? I'm like, I'm not playing the game.
I'm about to go fight somebody.
All. Like, I'm about to
somebody
go
can get
fight.
hurt.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt. Like, there's no somebody can get hurt. There's somebody is gonna get hurt.
1000%.
And I talk about this. It's like you sign the dotted line almost like, and people might not think this, but it's like
it's your life.
It's your life. It's like you're putting like this. It's like, here, I am.
If something happens,
I'm okay
straight.
with it. Yeah,
Y'all
it's
straight.
Like, I could lose my life right now, and I know this going into this cage. And I think if a lot of people think that way, then it might be like, oh.
It's just, but even saying it like that, that's why it gets me upset when I see like comments and stuff like that from fans. Oh, he's a bitch. He got fucking scared. Like, bro, for somebody to get in a fucking cage and fight. I know niggas that's afraid to fight after school. You know what I'm saying? We talking about, I'm about to fly to this arena, bring all my family and close friends to fight in front of these strangers that's not just this 20, 30,000 people that's in here, but millions of people that's watching on TV, and you call them a bitch?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense to me.
used to-
It's a
I
different.
used to
That's
be
it
the
take a
one.
different type of human being
Yeah.
to get in the cage, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I used to be
different.
the one that
No,
used
for
to
sure.
be like afraid to fight. Like being not like when I was little, like a kid, like my cousins used to beat me up all the time.
He's getting
and
that
shit.
squabble and cry.
Yeah, I cried shit because I would get real mad. Like, like what the fuck did you cry for? It's like, I'm gonna kill him. You know, like,
Snot
like,
running and
yeah, snot and shit. I used to be that way, and like I used to get beat up by my brother and all that, and then just I think some point in high school just like clicked. I think I like stopped shed. I started shedding my baby fat.
You got more
You
confident
know, I
in
got more
yourself.
confident.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
more athletic. You know, I was playing football. I started wrestling. Like, oh, I could take people down and shit. I'm like, now I'm starting to like walk around the hallways. Like, say, I wish somebody would say something now. Like, let me-
Run that shit.
Yeah, like now, I'm different than last year now. Like, let's go. Like,
Pull up on me.
yeah, for sure, bro. But I mean, it's like that too in like every like areas you grow up in. Now, you're from Boynton.
So I was born in New York, in Long Island,
Okay,
and we
yeah.
moved out here when I was 9. So I've been in Florida. I'm raised in Florida, bro.
Yeah.
My birth certificate say New York, but I'm from Florida.
What's the
100%.
what's the big difference? Like, here's my thing about like when I look at like MMA as like a whole and a whole like sport, you don't see many inner city or young black kids, young black athletes gearing towards MMA. Like you always see us gearing towards the bigger sports like football, basketball, baseball, maybe, but like
you know what it is, bro.
boxing. It's,
Ain't no fucking money.
It's access.
that's what it is.
You know,
But the
money's
access,
pretty
simple. It's
yeah,
access.
Yeah.
Bro, it's for one, they can't either they can't afford to pay for the gym memberships, and then these young black kids, they're not looking at UFC fighters and seeing like a super lavish lifestyle.
Yeah, because there's
Like,
no lavish.
and then look how
lifestyle.
many people make it to the UFC, and how many people are on the UFC roster in comparison to the NFL, comparison to the NBA. It's a lot easier to become probably a lot easier to become make it to the NFL than a successful UFC fighter.
52 teams, some 32.
If-
about 500-600
If
fighters.
you have the ability. Yeah.
Of course, if you have the.
And then
Yeah, yeah.
and then like we were saying earlier, it takes a different type of human being to accept the fact I'm about to get punched in the face and I have to do this shit tomorrow again too.
That's probably a second good point, and that's really what scares young kids away from wrestling. Is because again, you don't play wrestling, right? Is the tight singlets, right?
I got caught gay so
And
many
it's
times in
gay.
high school. Like, oh, you
It's-
wearing
it's
that little
that
gay
shit.
ass
It's
singlet?
all this-
Wrestling and
yeah, wrestling and singlet. I used
It's
to
all the
pop
same
that
shit.
Yeah,
It's all the same. I think.
It's
I
more
think
of a
it's all the
cultural
same.
I had
thing.
friends. I had
Yeah.
friends I played with. I have your black friends I played with, and I got black and white friends everywhere. But it's black friends I played with, and their mother wouldn't let them wrestle because of the singlet.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
they
that's
want.
real.
They wanted to. She said, "No, that little gay. No, you ain't wearing that little gay pajama thingy." Like
Wrestling has had
That's
a
wild.
push for the last 10 years to be able to compete in a rash guard. Tight shorts, tight shirt.
yeah.
Tight shorts, tight shirt.
Don't they do that with
I like
jiu-jitsu
the
though?
singlet though.
They do that in jiu-jitsu,
That's
no?
jiu-jitsu, yeah. Jiu-jitsu, you can remove your shirt too, but
I went and got tattoos because of the singlet. Like me and my best friends,
I gotta look hard.
me and my best friends,
I
I was
gotta look
wrestling
hard.
with Bobby Cobb back in high school. We both, I was like, you know, we
get tattoos
yeah,
for next
we
season.
get tattoos for next season. we both got our names on the back of our shoulders, bro. It was on our back. Yeah, pop our singlet up and like, yeah. And that's how you know Johnson over there.
That's
Like,
awesome.
who's that? Like, oh, yeah.
Hey, so speaking about wrestling, what did you think about the quote where Bo Nichols said that he could out wrestle
yeah.
Habib
No, he can't.
I
He will.
think so.
in a wrestling match?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different.
So how
it's
would
a
so
different
okay?
wrestling.
So I don't disagree with the rules of a wrestling match, but how does that translate into the UFC fight? I feel like Khabib's style of wrestling translates better into the fighting aspect of it than Bo Nichols' the American style wrestling.
No, well, we don't know yet.
Yeah, Bo hasn't.
We don't know
done
anything about
enough.
Bo yet. We know Bo
that's
can
fair.
wrestle. We know that.
So we can get a Ben Askren or we can get a DC. Pretty much what you're saying right now.
Or the whole range of possibilities, I think.
You know, it's either gonna be.
He could be
fight-
very good.
Because he could fight somebody with some great wrestling defense.
He's
and-
at what 85.
I think he could be. I think he could be very good. I just don't know that. I haven't seen it yet. how does that matchup come out in a fight? Well, you got the size, right? Mm-hmm. You got. I hate these fantasy matchups.
Yeah, he's too big. He's too big. He's too big. Never mind. He's too big. Khabib is great, but that nigga Bo was too big. He's big and skilled.
Khabib gets big. I bet you Khabib's 200 pounds right now.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
200 pounds, but not 200 pounds competing though.
No, but he would get
because Bo was 185. Bo was 200 competing.
Yeah,
Khabib is probably coming in at what 70 competing. After hydration, maybe 67, 70?
Nah, bro.
At the 55?
74,
when I
probably.
fought Khabib, his motherfucker was probably at least 190.
Get the fuck out.
Well, he cuts a lot.
Yo, can you look that up? Or they don't say that?
No, they don't tell us. They don't make public on how much we weigh on fight day. And I don't think we were weighing on fight day back then. Damn,
yeah, I don't think we were either.
Feel old,
I don't think we were either.
Nah, we wouldn't fight day weight.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was the first MSG card. He felt like I had Rashad on me.
Like that's that heavy?
That's how heavy he felt. Yeah. And I was just, fucked up.
You got your licks in, though.
I got my licks
Hey,
in.
you know what they say? They say you're the only person to get around off that boy,
but I
though.
took that fight. That was big risk, big reward, like extremely big risk. Like I had, 2 weeks to fight. The first MSG
Refresh
card.
me.
It was 2 weeks of camp.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, why?
He
was supposed to fight someone else?
He was
pulled out?
supposed to fight Eddie. Okay, now I was doing the tour for the troops thing overseas.
Yeah, in
Djibouti. When I took this fight in Djibouti, when I took this fight, and I was like, oh, they don't have a fight. They don't have a fight. I was texting Glenn and my manager at the time saying, yo, I'll take that fight for sure. Keep in mind back then, I'm not thinking money-wise and being smart. I should have been like, if I take this fight, I want a certain amount of money.
You didn't? You just said that thing?
No, and my manager at the time, for some odd reason, didn't either. Like, I should have got a mil for fighting his big ass.
Was that the
2 weeks?
Was
MSG, it was the first MSG card.
Yeah, but was that the last one before he got a title shot?
Yeah, that was before it, because Conor fought Eddie. So that's how it was. So Khabib and Eddie were going to fight for the title. Okay, and then...
At 55?
Yeah, at 55 for the title. So I've already signed to fight Khabib. Then Eddie calls me maybe like a day later, and he tells me that him and Khabib were going to fight. I was like, damn, so this motherfucker was getting ready for a 5-round fight already. I didn't know this. Like, he was getting ready for a title fight and everything. So
But
I
that
just
gas
went
tank
in.
is on 100.
Yeah, but I just went in saying, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, strap up,
Show up, yeah.
show up and swing. Like, I remember he got me
Make
in
it
a
do
bad
what it do,
position.
baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight. Like, we're gonna do something, And I was just thinking of the wrestling too much. That's all I heard, wrestling, and I just went in and just didn't fight the way I would fight.
Yeah, you paralyzed yourself.
Yeah, I paralyzed myself just looking for him,
really,
wrestling, and
What we was talking about earlier.
yeah,
that's
exactly what we was talking about earlier.
And then he fucks my neck up in the second, like real bad, bro. I got up and all MSG is just big circle, big John's on my back. He's like, hey, I can't. I'm gonna stop it if you get in that position. Get out my
He
man.
came
Fuck
over,
off
he
me.
followed you to the corner after that round and was like, Michael Johnson, I'm not going to let you take that damage again.
Yeah, what I say back to him?
I don't know.
Probably like, get your hand off of me, Big John. Let him fucking kill me. Get off of me, bro. Like, I got 5 minutes left.
Let me fight.
Yeah, like, let me fight, bro. Like, I ain't finna give up. Like,
That was the main event at the Palms, an International Fight Week, huh? That's what that was.
No, that was Gaethje. That
Okay.
was him. That was me.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Gaethje
you just told me where that was. I'm
at
sorry.
T-Mobile,
Yeah.
Me and him was at. We were the main card in the prelims.
That's one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
That fight.
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
Which?
Him and Gaethje.
Oh, they
Yeah,
both
I
That was one of the
I
best fights I've ever seen in my life.
That was the one at the
knocked out.
Palms.
No, that was
No.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
That shit was insane.
I was knocked out halfway through that fight too because he fucking headbutted me
So
hard
was he.
as shit. Boom. I'm just fighting like this the whole time. It was like 2 minutes into the first round. Caught me with 2 of them. But I was going. That's when I want to run back.
Gaethje?
Yeah.
They talking about Gaethje might be up next right now for Islam.
I don't know. I don't even pay attention to.
How you think that goes?
Same way the first one went.
Nah, they never fought.
Didn't they?
Nah, he fought Khabib.
No, he fought.
Gaethje ain't fight Islam.
Yeah, I know, but Islam fought or Gaethje fought. Fucking what's the other cat name?
Habib.
No,
Oliveira?
Yeah. Oh no. We'll see how that one goes.
I don't know, bro, because Gaethje's striking has gotten a lot
What's
better.
the next UFC card? It's Johnny
it's gotta be
Walker and the
soon.
Russian cat fight.
rematch.
Who was Ankalaev?
Ankalaev,
Yeah. What y'all think about
I think
that?
Johnny Walker gonna knock him out.
If it's not this week, it's got to be next week, right?
It's next week. It's the 12th or the 13th or something.
Yeah,
I think Johnny gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna knock him out. I just feel like Ankalaev, I like him a lot, but he's stoic, and his shit is kind of, it's like
was
mad technical.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Was he
Johnny's
beating him
wild
up?
as shit.
Was
Nah.
he beating him up a little bit the
Nah,
first
bro.
fight?
What happened? Why I don't even
That was
remember.
an eye poke.
It was an eye poke. Something
first round?
happened.
Yeah,
No,
and then they
he-
were saying that he couldn't.
He
the-
illegal kneed him or something, and he asked
Yes.
him like where he was at.
He said
and
the desert.
Johnny Walker was being funny.
yeah,
the desert.
Johnny Walker's being
Then
funny.
hit his ass with the-
yeah, dumbass ref.
that
Of course,
was-
he's in the desert.
That was the interim title shot. Yeah, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, he wasn't wrong. Like he's in the fucking
in the
desert.
desert.
He's
He
in.
knew
I
it
was
was.
happy. You know exactly. And he's a Brazilian guy. He's always funny and making jokes about shit. So that would make perfect sense. He say some shit like that.
I thought Johnny
Yeah, but-
at one point in time, Johnny was looking like that guy. He was
A
looking
while
like,
ago he was.
until he
Yeah.
fought what's the dude? Corey
Corey Anderson?
yeah. Corey beat his ass.
Corey Anderson, one of those
Corey
guys where he's
beat his
extremely
ass.
good, just not marketable. He went over to Bellator and became.
Whenever you
Did his
say not
thing.
marketable, what do you mean? His personality, his fighting style?
I
What?
don't like talking
What?
about nobody on microphone like this. Actually, I do, but Corey's a good guy. But
Maybe
he's
Corey will
not
appreciate the feedback.
No,
I mean,
because
we
it's
don't
not
got
good.
Hey, we ain't talking shit in no kind
No,
of way
he ain't
right
talking
now. We're
shit.
just saying what we see.
Okay. He's a smart guy, talks well. He's just not a good-looking dude.
I think it's just a
Can't
style of
market
fighting.
looks.
I
No,
think
his
it's a style
style-
of fighting.
I thought it got maybe he got more aggressive in
All right.
Bellator.
So
I
you
think
gonna
he did,
hold
and
on,
I think
hold
he got
on.
better.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
he
fuck this. I'm gonna fuck your whole head up right now.
All right.
All right.
Hamzat,
What about?
he ain't a handsome nigga,
He
No,
getting that
but
push.
he's
but he's
got-
marketable
but
because
no,
his style.
the
He's on the
difference
mic.
with-
He talks shit.
None of the, but he's got a whole country behind him that he brings, or he's got a big fan base that he brings, and that's kind of difficult to ignore.
Bro, they fight very similar, bro.
Who comes out in Corey?
They fight very similar. They fight very heavy
That's
very
not
heavy
a bad
wrestlers.
observation.
And Corey Anderson has a better gas tank too.
But if you say
Corey
lack of
probably beat him.
marketability, I think you need to move. Because I don't disagree with you, but I think you need to move beyond just how he looks.
Yeah.
Bro, Corey
I mean,
Anderson is like a light
I
heavyweight.
can,
You know
and
what
I
I mean?
will,
It's-
but
there's
other
a few
people
things
do.
that go. There's a few things that go in there. I think.
Yeah, but
think-
that's
But I
one
tell you
thing
what.
that people look at.
But
This
it's but
motherfucker went to
then,
Bellator and he fights his ass off. And the guys he fight against aren't too bad. They're pretty good.
it was just when he got to that level to fight that guy, he lost.
Yeah.
Corey Anderson is the
Which is
he's the
fine.
light, it is,
Which
and
is
it's not
fine.
saying he's bad. He's the light heavyweight version of Curtis Blades to me.
Oh, you
Same type of
You
style.
talking all kind of shit.
It's the same type of
Talking all
style.
kind of
But
shit.
am I
Curtis
wrong though?
Blades, yeah.
No,
It's the
it's a
same
good
type of style.
analogy,
They
yeah.
both have
Curtis
decent
Blades
stand up. They
about
can
to
knock you
fight.
out if they get going. They're great wrestlers.
I haven't
They're
seen-
gonna be there all fucking night. But if you touch them, you could sleep them. You got to catch them to take them out.
Hey, pull up the last time Curtis Blades fought. I feel like I haven't seen him fight in a while.
Curtis Blades got stopped by Is it Pavlovich?
Pavlovich?
Pavlovich. The
Yeah.
dude who fought Aspinall just got knocked out.
No, that's
Corey Anderson-
I'm
Corey- not
thinking
Corey
I'm
Anderson,
thinking of
Curtis
Chris
Blades.
Curtis.
Curtis
I'm thinking of
Blades.
Curtis
When's the last
Blades.
time?
Yeah, you think? Yeah, Blades. He knocked out the
Russian
big
dude
Russian,
knocked him
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
I think it was the
Yeah.
second round. I think he beat that boy ass.
I think Corey strikes a little more.
Bro, Corey and Curtis Blades fight the same, bro. Them dudes fight the same.
Curtis is
dog.
great for a big athletic heavyweight.
He is.
I love
But
his
he
motion.
just
Last time he fought it was 2022, July.
against who?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Tom,
Aspinall?
Pavlovich? Wait, the Corey? No, Curtis Blades.
Wait,
yeah, it says
July 2022.
July 2022. Curtis Blades versus Tom. Aspinall.
What was the
Oh
result?
shit,
He
probably
won.
got- Curtis Blades won?
Nah.
Nah, hell no. Let me see.
Yeah.
What are you on?
No.
On UFC stats. UFC stats.
Oh, well.
Aspinall would have beat Curtis. Unless he popped it. Is that the fight? But no, Aspinall
You got
haven't
to
lost
fight two
yet.
fights yet later.
Here, wait. Actually, here. Let me show you guys.
Pull it up.
He said, "Man, I'm looking at
Yeah,
it.
look.
Go to Sherdog.
Sure Dog.
or Tapology, either
Maybe
one.
that was like his first one in.
Search the.
What is that, a
If you
decision?
search the name in MMA, then Tapology and Sherdog are the first. Should be the first two.
Man, bro, that should have had you bring your clippers, man.
Nah, he had to get here early.
Damn,
to
he
do that
beat
shit.
Aspinall?
That's a true story.
I thought Aspinall was undefeated in the UFC.
I thought he was too. Damn. How'd he beat him? A decision?
Nah, his last fight was, Sergey Pavlovich, April 22nd, 2023.
Who you talking about?
Curtis Blades,
Curtis Blades fought in April of 23
April 22nd.
and lost.
He lost the
Oh,
UFC
yeah.
fight
Right.
night punches.
So that's how.
But they say he beat Tom Aspinall though.
And who do you say beat him just now?
Yeah, Curtis Blades did beat Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
And but Pavlovich knocked out Curtis Blades and Aspinall knocked out Pavlovich.
That's the fight I'm missing. I got you. I got you.
For the interim.
That little threesome going on. Man.
Man, see? It's just the guy. I like Corey. I think Corey's good. I just feel like he was just
do
in the
too.
division at the wrong time. He's in the division when Bones is there. At that time, the light heavyweight division was fucking stacked. You had Dominic that was doing good too. The guy that the division had people there, man.
Yeah, Blackowitz.
Teixeira was still
Glover.
there. Like the people were there. Just Corey just. And then another thing is he was very open about speaking out against the UFC and the mistreatment that he felt that he was getting.
Who's this?
Corey. He spoke about that shit. He spoke about it, so they're not gonna throw you up there, especially if you're not going out there and sleeping motherfuckers.
Yeah.
A lot of people speak on it, but some people try to speak on it.
I mean,
You need
it
the
is-
right people speaking accurately about it is what you need.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
That's true. But yeah, that's the next fight. Walker and Ankalaev. And then you got, but then who? And I think the winner out of that is the
I got the next card pulled up if you guys want to take a
The
look
hell
at it real quick.
yeah, same,
I got versus Johnny Walker.
Who's that?
Yeah, I didn't know Phil Hawes was fighting.
I can't read that shit.
Phil Hawes, Jim Miller,
Yep, Jim Miller.
Who's that? Manel Kopp?
Manel Kopp. I like
Koppe?
it. I fuck with him. You see the post interview he did on the after who did you say that about? Kai
Yeah.
called all their teams.
I just seen that dude at the airport in Chicago a couple
Who,
weeks
Phil?
ago. Yeah,
What do you have on?
he had the UFC. Some UFC equipment
All
on.
his
Dude with the
UFC
blonde
shit
hair,
on.
right?
Yeah, that's some goofy shit.
Don't talk about my dog Phil, man.
I seen
Where's
him at
that
the
fight
airport.
at? Apex. Yeah, I don't know why. I know why.
I'm chilling, bro. We good. But do you think Anthony Joshua beats Deontay Wilder now?
Yeah, does Deontay Wilder even fighting? You think he's gonna fight again?
I mean, it didn't sound like it.
Yeah,
At that
think he's
interview?
I think he's at a peace.
When somebody talking about, hey man, I did good with my money,
Yeah.
that's when you know.
Or you
like,
think they are running from Francis because Francis gonna get one of them?
no disrespect, bro. No disrespect.
Don't
At all.
disrespect.
I'm
Bro,
not.
he beat the best heavyweight boxer right
Bro,
now.
Tyson Fury didn't train for that fight. Bro.
Regardless if he didn't train, he went out
That's
there.
a
He
fact.
got beat.
He lost.
By
I agree. I think that
an
Fury
MMA
lost that
fighter.
fight. I agree. I think that Fury lost that fight. But I also think that Joseph Parker will knock out Francis Ngannou. I think that
We'll see.
I think Anthony Joshua will beat him as well. I think Andy Ruiz will beat him. I like Francis
Francis?
Ngannou, bro. I like him, bro. I do, but like the way that he looked that night with that pace that Fury let him keep, that's why he was able to go them 10 rounds with nothing. Look how many punches they threw per round. You
You
fighting
think
a
it was
dude?
set up?
Nah, hell no. Hell no. I don't think that was set up. Getting punched in the face like that. I don't think that was set up.
The
I just think
decision.
that Fury.
The decision could have
The
been.
decision. I think the decision was because they have to make that Usyk fight happen. Now Fury wins. Fury loses that fight. Now what? Nobody
yeah, I
wants to
see what you
fucking
mean.
see. Now you have to introduce Ngannou to the boxing community now and make people want to see Fury.
Oh,
I mean
he's out there.
Ngannou and Usyk. Now it's like that.
He put him on notice.
Now
Yeah.
it's like that, but hell nah, bro. Hell no. I like to see honestly, I would like to see him and Anthony Joshua fight.
Francis?
Damn right. Let them
I
fight.
think
Let them
that's the
fight.
next
And,
fight to
and,
make for
and if
sure.
Ngannou win that fight, run that shit. Give him the undisputed title shot because he has to get it. He has to after that because he's marketable. He brings a lot of money or a lot of eyes.
It's in a story.
Yeah, he has a great story. He's a great story, and it's easy to market with that. Him and AJ. AJ's still the biggest. AJ still makes the most money. Him and Canelo, like that boy's getting bread. Yeah. So if you bring him and Ngannou with the backing with the PFL and everything like that, and that promotion, now you getting
Do it in Africa.
Yeah, you getting the MMA fans to watch, and you getting the boxing fans to watch too. That's a big fight, bro. And then Anthony Joshua, he's from the UK. The UK, they support their fighters, bro.
Francis should never come back to MMA ever again.
I would never do it again.
Why?
I would never fight.
I was like, bro, I
would
wouldn't
never
even
do
attempt.
I would never do it again.
Little taste of that boxing money, boy.
Little $2 million. Take a little $2 million on somewhere.
Yeah, I don't gotta get kicked. Ain't nobody taking
know,
me
right?
down.
What did he
I'm
end up
just saying,
making?
box.
What did he end up making for that?
I don't know.
I
but
don't
probably
think they even
20 mil,
disclosed it
probably.
like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think they said something. But
Can we
he
see?
made-
Can you see if you can find that?
Yeah, look it up.
I do know. Coach E posted about waking up
he
to
started
life changing money. So if he could give his coach life changing money,
What's life changing money? What's life changing money for you?
a few mil.
What are you?
A few mil.
Yeah, a few mil. Like if somebody walked in that door right now, and was like, "Yo, bro, here's $2 million right now. Change your life." My life would be changed just like that.
$500,000 wouldn't change your life?
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Hell yeah. I got good relationships
Yeah,
with people that know how to make
$500,000.
money. So damn right, I'm gonna make that money
You
make
ain't gonna
money
turn
for
none of
sure.
it down.
I got
no,
too much debt for $500,000 to change my life.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe if you give me a few mil,
I feel you.
So-
If you could just start square. If
This
you
is-
just enough to start square again. Go ahead, man. Go
This
ahead,
is
man.
actually pretty crazy. Fury was set to get a staggering $50 million for the fight, and Ngannou was $600,000.
No way.
That's lies.
No fucking way.
After it was all said and
What?
done,
According to the
Francis-
I mean,
Nah, after it all said and done, I guarantee he's
Bro, he
got
made
meals.
what did
on
he
top.
make? Like he made like 400,000, 500,000 in his last UFC fight.
million?
bro,
50?
hell
I didn't even
yeah.
know
I don't
50
think-
million.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. The
yeah.
Cyril Gane fight, he made like 500,000 for
Okay,
that
I
fight.
thought it was like.
There's no way
Yeah.
he only made 100,000 more.
No.
Ain't no fucking way. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Nah, this is funny reporting. They know what they're doing.
Cause that's fucking. Oh, you gotta write that. Yeah, 600 grand. 600 grand.
Yeah.
600 grand, that's it.
We gave you 600. Okay.
That's all we got,
take
600
this-
grand.
Take these other millions.
Ain't no way.
That's it, bro.
Ain't no way.
That is it, dog. Nothing more. Hey, you think Cheeto does it again?
Beat O'Malley.
Yeah.
He really likes O'Malley.
I do, and I like he's my guy. I train with him out in Arizona, but I like him. I didn't like him at first, like because they were just like broadcasting him as somebody. He just had this like stigma about him, and then I actually went down there. And when you can actually like meet somebody and kick it with him and kind of cool, you're like, okay, well I see where he's coming from, but I do like O'Malley and confidence kills.
Yeah, let me ask
boy.
you this,
He's a
Mike.
confident motherfucker.
He is.
I just read something this afternoon before I came here. He was projecting his year. He was like, 2 fights, I'm gonna fight these 2 guys, I'm gonna beat them, and I'm gonna blow up. Personally, I'm gonna blow up. That will make me bigger than Conor McGregor.
Nah.
I don't want to debate whether or not that part's true, but is it healthy for a fighter to fight with that being a primary goal or motivation?
Being as big.
I want to be
as
big and
somebody else.
famous.
Yeah.
But you should remember.
No.
I don't know if that's a good place to operate
It's a
from.
new school, new generation
Good point.
mindset.
Good point.
Coming guys from like us or like a different ages group is like no, like yo, give me the money. Like forget the fame and the famous and all that shit. Let's fight for the big money. Like I don't want to fight to be big and famous and all this and that. Like I personally didn't get into it because of that. I got into it to travel, see the world, fight the best of the best, and just experience a whole new life that I could have never experienced working a 9 to 5, or trying to scratch and figure out like what I could do. Like I was like, I could see the world. Hell yeah, I'm going off.
I mean,
it's,
I
think
just
it's
think
go ahead.
you
Yeah,
think
don't
about
touch
it. He says it all the time. He's like, I'm not a fighter. I'm a prize fighter. Like that's what he's here
Yeah,
for.
he's trying
That's-
to be the Floyd,
that's
and
his
he's
thing.
trying to go.
But
he's
bro,
trying to sell
but
himself.
you think
Yeah,
about
trying
it.
to sell himself.
So maybe
Yeah.
you can look at it from that perspective and also be like, if his goal is to be, let's say, famous, having a certain level of fame these days, it makes you marketable. And when you're marketable, that brings in revenue because companies want to put money behind you to promote their
Yeah,
brand because you have eyes on you.
course.
So now by him doing that, that sets him up for post UFC. Say maybe in his mind he only want to do 5 or 6 more fights. If he builds his brand, his individual brand, now after he can be like he can do the Conor shit that Conor does right now and have his own liquor company on suit lines. He can go and be an
Do you
analyst
think-
like DC did or what
Do you
Chael
think
Sonnen
if he
does.
do you think if he was black and doing the exact same thing and winning like he was doing, he would be as big or popular as he is?
Hell
Talking
yeah.
with the face tattoos and
Bro,
and the
hell
wild
yeah.
yeah.
Nigga, look at Mike Tyson. Tyson did that shit in the 90s.
But that was the 90s.
That was worse then. It was worse than, and there was no social media. He was more famous than that boy was when there was no social media, and he was a fucking savage talking about fucking people and raping them. I'm gonna get you in it, bro. He was fucking crazy. Yeah, hell yeah, he would do it. It's all about building your brand, and when you're creating or showing some type of value. Once you do that, these companies want to put money behind that shit. They want to do it. It's just that a lot of guys don't speak out and talk shit like that, bro. Look at Kevin Holland. That nigga makes he makes stupid bread in the UFC. And what did he say?
Modelo,
He
huh?
don't even give a fuck about being a champ. He's like, bro, I'm here to make money. Pay me my bread. That's what my career is. My job is to make money, and that's why he make his bread. And he talk his shit
They
too.
get behind certain people and
No, they
put
do,
'em in
for
that,
sure.
So it just,
I'm okay with that being a motivation, but I don't think it should be a primary motivation.
No.
I don't think you should choose this line of work, especially.
because some of these guys they talk all this shit and then they lose and then but they still stay behind them.
Yeah, I mean, look
They
like
lose
Kobe.
it, yeah,
Like Kobe. Yeah, that's a
You think they stay with him?
now, not right now. Not right now. Not after Dana White's press conference after the fight. He made it known.
Oh, he said he need to retire.
He said he looked old and slow.
yeah, he bad.
He said Tony needed to retire, but he said Kobe looked old and slow. I mean, that boy, and that shit was wild. I ain't feel bad for dude.
You ain't
but
feel bad for
I ain't
him a
feel
little
bad for
bit.
that nigga. And I felt bad for Leon because I know he wanted to get that shit off more. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew he wanted to
Leon shoulda ran
really
up
wanted to
on him.
go in on him like that. But bro, it's just a perfect example. Kobe's a perfect example. He built this character to build this brand. But once you build that brand a certain type of way, that's why you got to be careful with that shit. It's 'cause when you build a brand a certain type of way, the same people that will praise you will be the same ones that'll burn your ass at the stake.
That's because there's got to be some authenticity
yeah.
to it too. And
Because remember, he walked in the
get that.
arena, everybody was going crazy, fucking going USA. The moment he fucking lost, they booing his ass. Trump leaving while he giving the speech about him.
fans, man.
Maybe
Clearing
that's
it.
a,
I'm glad
that's
I was
something
asleep.
I
I'm glad
can't
I was
create a
asleep.
character. I can't create a character.
Nah, you too real,
I'm just
man.
too real.
You
Like,
too
you
real.
fucking like it or you don't, motherfucker. Like,
Because you gotta live and die by that
like,
shit,
is he
bro.
funny? Like, it's just me. And if somebody,
I think it would be
somebody talk some shit, we'll fight whenever I see you, bro.
I
It's
think
like,
it would be
okay.
exhausting.
right?
To like every
Yeah, like-
interaction on fight week, you got to like snap into it.
No,
Because you
I
get
like
lost, bro.
being me.
Yeah.
You'll get lost.
No,
100%.
that's why Hollywood's so fucked up.
That's why he don't understand why Jorge ran up on him like that. Like, bro, you
Well,
can't
he-
say certain things
No, I
that's
know.
about
so
people on building a character and then forget, like, bro, like, this real life. When these camera goes off, that's still a man, and that you still talking about his fucking wife.
I've seen it personally on more than one occasion. Him going, "Hey man, I was just trying to sell the fight.
Yeah.
I was just trying to sell the fight.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
mean it. No,
You can't do that though, bro.
No,
You can't do that unless
No.
you talk about that shit prior and like y'all have an understanding about
Right.
where y'all gonna go with it, like how WWE do type shit.
Yeah.
Then all right, but bro, you can't be talking about nigga dad and shit like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wild, bro.
for
Not no
sure.
black dad. That's
Definitely,
crazy.
Definitely.
That is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, boys, appreciate ya, Bones the GOAT, for coming on, shedding
Yeah,
some
Bones.
light
Appreciate you,
on
man.
Menace's
Appreciate
Mike.
y'all.
I guess this is
Thanks for the
official
knowledge,
episode
dog.
number 1, bro. Official episode number 1. Like, listen, subscribe. We're gonna transfer 3 pros in a pod to Menace's Mike, and yeah, giving y'all one-on-one guests, just like we're in the room all together, shit talking, conversation.
Straight up.
Like, listen, subscribe. Did I say that already?
Make sure they share too.
Share. Check out Instagram.
Coach.
Shout out Instagram.
Yeah, so Bones the Goat, BonezDagoat. You can find me on Instagram at that handle. Appreciate y'all.
Coach G Jones, holla at
Coach
your boy.
G. Jones. And you know, the Menace fight. Guys, check y'all next week.
Menace
Tuning
fight,
in. Thank
not
you.
the Menace.
Menace fight. Man, the Menace is about to fight. What's up?
Ooh, we're gonna get busy.
We're gonna get busy.
active
What's up? I'm
too,
talking
boy.
about you.
Moving.
We're gonna get active. Yeah. Shut
Check
it down.
y'all later.
Kings no runs, we get 'em. Batman in this bitch. New hair, new whip. Big wheels, no grip. New glare, don't trip. Big flare, new brick. They stop and stare because they piss. My drip is rare and often sick. I'm smart.